Hi, I'm Jocelyn Peterson, and I'm a strength coach based out of Boulder, Colorado. I'm going to be leading you guys through a 10-minute routine. This is a partnership with Amona, and we are going to be doing these routines all year long. So first things first is I am not giving you guys medical advice that you should always talk to your doctor before doing these exercises. This is just merely me trying to help you guys out and give you guys some exercise tips and range of motion tips, etc. But remember to let me know if you guys have anything specific that you guys want me to make for videos in the future. I have a mainly virtual client base, so I can work with anyone all around the world, basically all year long. I'm going to go over stuff that you can do pre-mastectomy and post-mastectomy. So this first one, it's going to be structured in a circuit way. So you'll kind of hear a little bit of a timer in the background just so we stay on track. So I'm going to talk for a couple minutes about what's most important pre-surgery. So pre-surgery most important is range of motion. And that is because when you get your mastectomy, that is the first thing that you are going to lose. So for instance, when you get a mastectomy, you're not going to be able to lift your arms probably more than about 90 degrees. So having as much range of motion before surgery is very important. And the next thing is having as much strength as possible too, because the stronger you are, the faster you're going to recover. So today, we're going to go over some strength exercises and then also some stretches and range of motion that you're going to be able to take yourself through. It is follow along. So if you're watching this, you can fast forward if you don't want to hear all of this. So the main thing that we're going to go over for range of motion, checking yourself. So making sure that naturally before, this is a nice range of motion check, you're going to press your low back into the ground, and then you're just going to go into a goalpost position. So if you kind of check this out right now, my arms are actually not even touching the ground. I am not faking any of this. This is just how much naturally my chest tends to tighten up after I've done an arm workout, which I did yesterday, or if I go climbing or anything. So this is post-mastectomy. I am not naturally a flexible person. So working on this, check yourself right now. Are you close or are you touching the ground? If you don't naturally touch the ground, that's something you're going to need to work on before.
2,
I'm going to turn this down a little bit.
T-spine twist.
All right, so another thing we want to do, go ahead and get into 90 degrees here. And we're just going to open up. And what you're going to also do, you can always put a pillow or something underneath your head too, so you're a little bit more comfortable. Taking a nice deep breath in and breathe out. Nice deep breath in here and breathe out. So what I'm doing here is I am making sure that I'm twisting with my trunk and not just moving with just my arm, okay? So we're going into other side. So again, about 90 degrees here, and going with your breath. And if I were to just move my arm, I could just make it touch on the other side, but we're moving our trunk. Breath in, and go all the way out. Notice my knees are together. Good. All right, so following along, we're going to press our low back into the ground. Legs are going to 90 degrees. You can either hold your head here if you can't press your low back into the ground, or you can fully relax. So you need to press back into the ground, and we are just tapping, making sure you cannot get your hand underneath the arch of your back. So hands can relax to the side. Notice I'm just tapping my toes, but I'm still focusing on my low back. So the important thing is making sure your core is strong beforehand, because you're going to need to be able to get up fully on your own. It's more ideal that you don't have help. All right, so another one is shoulder wall slides. So putting feet together, trying to press your arms against the wall, and then ideally getting your hips as far as you can back. You can start about a hand's width away in the beginning, and we're just sliding up and down. And there are harder versions that we'll go over every week, pressing the back of your hands into the wall the entire time. Good. All right. Another one is crunches. Like, you're not going to be able to use your arms. So if I'm here, making sure you can just sit up on your own. So you can either have your legs, at an angle, or you can have them totally straight. So can you sit up on your own? So go ahead and try this with me. Sit back, pressing low back into the ground. Can you sit up on your own? You can even put your feet, to make it a little bit more challenging, you can press into the ground and come up. So just continue practicing that. Good. And then we're gonna go straight back into those dead bugs. So 90 degrees again. Hands on the ground. And again, we can go hands here or lay your head on the ground. So tapping, but still really focusing on pressing that low back into the ground. Good. And I know we're moving kind of quick. We'll get the hang of these 10 minutes with Joss. Good. Refocus on that low back. Are you pressing hard enough? And can you make sure your hands don't fit underneath? Okay. Relax. Scooch back into a wall. See if you can go a little closer to the wall this time. Trying to press into the wall. And maybe your motion is only a little bit, right? Maybe we're only pressing up a little bit. Maybe it's an inch or two. If you feel really good about this, you can really press all the way up. Otherwise, they can be little motions. There's no wrong way to do this. Good. And just keep pressing a little bit more. See if you can make your hands totally flat when you're doing this. Okay, we're gonna go straight back into those crunches. So again, we can either keep our feet or legs at an angle like this, or you can go straight. We'll go straight this time, but whichever one feels good to you, making sure you're going nice and slow on the way down. And again, we're purposely trying to not use our arms. Nice and controlled down, and sit up. Good. Nice and controlled down, and sit up. Let's go one more. Slow on the way down, and crunch up. Awesome. Okay, so not that much, but a lot of info that you guys can do at any point. So another really good chest stretch is using a wall, going to about 90 degrees, and then you're going to turn your body slightly to the opposite side. And you can kind of change the angle up. You can go a little higher. You can straighten your arm. And if you want to add a little extra, you turn your head down, and you're going to feel that stretch all along your trap right here and then along your chest. If you feel like this is too intense or you feel almost a pinch in your shoulder, I want you to bring your arm down and turn rather than doing 90 degrees. So I'm going to go the other side. You can go ahead and switch. Good, you can see that my shoulder's away from my ear and I'm turning to the opposite direction. And again, the other version I just showed you is hand down and twisting. For that one, you're gonna wanna go probably a little bit closer so that you feel that stretch just a little bit more intensely. But again, you wanna go gently for all of these. So any of those chest stretches, make sure that we have good range beforehand. Another really huge one that unfortunately is gonna be a little rough right after surgery is your triceps. So you're gonna bring that arm over and we're gonna press right on that elbow down. Good, and I want you to really push as much as you can handle, but gently still. Taking a couple deep breaths. And let's switch sides. Good, and just make sure I'm doing this with my hand so I can kind of press into my forearm as well. Just keep pressing. Do one more deep breath. Good. And then very last one, another range of motion one, is going nice and wide with our knees. Walk your hands out, going into child's pose, pressing your forehead into the ground. And give me 2 deep breaths here. Awesome. Go ahead and look up, walk those knees forward. And I know that was pretty quick, but we're going to be coming out with these 2 times a month, and there'll be a little bit more follow along. So this was just an intro. I hope you guys enjoyed. So if you have any questions, you guys can comment below. Subscribe so that you get notified for all of these videos that are coming up. And again, you can always reach out. My social media is Body and Root, and just ask questions because I want to also hear what you guys want to know. And let me know if you guys want any specific exercises, if you want to know more about if you play a certain sport or you want to come back from a certain sport after, that is what I'm here for. And I enjoyed doing this with you. I'll do it all year.